This week on the podcast we have
Metal Gear Solid and C-3POs.
XCom, Enemy Within, and Survivors Club.
Skylanders and Dragon Quest Heroes.
Fire Emblem and Destiny lore.
And you'll never believe what we found out. So come check it out on the official Team DBAH Podcast, number 111. Come join us, why don't you? Hello and welcome to the official Team DBAH Podcast, number 111. I'm Charlie Danger 82. With us tonight we have Craig.
Hello.
We have Jake.
It's me.
And you all asked for it. I told you no, but you kept on asking me. You kept asking me and asking me and asking me. I kept on saying no, 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 no. But I guess tonight you're getting your yes, yes, yes. Because here's Dave.
I have returned!
He has. Look at him. He's right there.
Let's say, is Daniel Bryan on the podcast? I didn't know about it.
Well,
No.
Dave is kind of like Daniel Bryan.
Ah.
I mean, we both have the same first initial.
Very true. See?
Exactly like Daniel Bryan.
See? Illuminati confirmed. All right. So, yeah.
Half-Life 3 never going to be released.
Never gonna re-release. So, we're jumping balls first into everything. We're sliding into action balls first, much like a one of them Japanese guys on the rope thingies going towards the big giant things.
I just hope we're not sliding into first.
That was the most Trevor sentence I think has ever been said.
Yes. Yeah.
The vagary is real.
I think that the anime is called Outlaw Star.
Oh, okay. Now I see what you're saying.
The talking cactus.
Fucking yeah, man. That's some good shit right there.
Shout out to the three amigos.
There was a Bandai released. It was very short-lived, and it was only like I think one series worth. But they would have like pilots and their ships from popular animes at the time, and they had the Outlaw Star one.
Oh, really?
Yep. They had the Red Tail. No, not the Red Tail. I'm sorry. Spike's ship. Spike's like mini craft from Cowboy Bebop. Big O, and I believe Escaflowne. But it had the ship itself, and it had like the PVC, like unmovable PVC figures of like the pilots and the stars in the anime. It was pretty cool.
I definitely thought you said this was a TV show, so I was like, what the fuck is this magical journey that we're going on right now?
But it's funny you should say that about TV and anime, Jake.
Yeah?
Because, gotta tell you, there is a very divisive issue going on right now in the game community. With this whole strike going on with the voice actors. They actually voted, and they are going to... It looks like they're moving forward with going on strike.
Wow.
And whereas I thought a lot of people would be like, yeah, sure, give them credit where credit's due and everything. I'm looking at comments section, and like almost half are less like, yeah, give them some credit. And like the other half is like violently against it.
Huh.
Like, I have not seen such vitriol towards these voice acting people. And considering I want to go into voice acting,
That's terrifying.
Very terrifying.
I didn't even know there was that much hate against them. I'd only mostly seen positive support for the VAs.
Yeah, I think
Ew.
voice acting there's that, the perception that it's an easy, cushy job.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's where the anger comes from.
There's
It's like-
It's like then it looks like they're, bitching about, sitting in a room.
Yeah, I mean,
Which I know they
people
do
sometimes
for
think acting is an easy job or whatever. You
Right.
know, so voice acting is probably thought even less of by those same stupid people.
the
Well,
thing is,
there's an easy way to fix that. Just have me voice act something, and everyone will realize how much more how much more difficulty it is.
Well, that's true. But there's like a bunch of hooting dickholes who are just like, oh, they're fucking crybabies and they don't do shit or anything. And then there's the people who are against it who are actually like, cogent and, they have valid points. Like, okay, if you're going to pay voice actors royalties for every time their performance or unit sold and everything, you have to give everybody royalties. You have to give the designers royalties. You got to give the developers royalties. You got to give the concept artists royalties. It's just like one group can't be singled out in the whole thing.
How does it work in movies?
In movies, I think everybody.
I think it depends on your contract specifically.
I know that if you're an extra, you get a flat rate, but if you say like one line, that's why a lot of extras are just like in the background, like saying unintelligible things or just moving their mouths, because if they actually utter a word, the studio has to pay them money. They're officially actors then, as opposed to an extra.
And I know there's like if you take percent of the gross or like percent of like some other kind of income or whatever. But yeah. They say we don't know. Let's.
So you know what I didn't know when they do all those motion capture things. A lot of times there's no stunt coordinator.
Serious.
So they're just hopping around and hoping they don't hurt themselves.
Wow.
So I agree with them on that part.
Yeah, especially with the fact that the voice actors are now mocapping. I think that like. They should get paid more, you know what I mean? Because they're going above and beyond. Like I think, in general, I haven't looked at it, so I don't know. But I'm generally pro people getting their wages increased or whatever. I'm not sure about the royalties thing because you make a good point that like it's more. There's a whole level of artistry that goes into video games. It's unlike anything else, and like the royalties will affect that. I think, but I definitely think if you're mocapping as well as voice acting. You need a little bit more because you're essentially just acting at that point. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
with the advent of performance capture, it's like they could make. Well, they made Troy Baker look like Joel from Last of Us, and Troy Baker looks nothing like Joel. But still they're able to. You look like Joel. But the thing is, they're able to. It's the voice actors are putting with the performance capture, they're putting all this emotion in and physically doing all this stuff. But like Ray Winstone is a rather large, girthy, Englishman. And they made him, even though he was doing performance capture, he was Beowulf in the Robert Zemeckis film, the CGI Robert Zemeckis film that came out like I'd say 5-10 years ago.
Is that the one where he sticks his hand in the dragon?
Yes.
Okay.
Right up its ass.
Oh, man, I'm thinking of a different Beowulf then. Let me go look for that and grab it.
He grabbed it by the calices. That's what that translates to, right? Dragon scrotum?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh, well, let me go look that up and get some ice.
So I'd like to call some more hate. But yeah, I mean, if they're able to do that with computers, but still relying on the performance of the actor itself, that's great. But at the same time, like Craig says, they need some stunt coordinators in that shit, dude. Because if they're like jumping around and hanging by a dragon's nuts, they gotta get like hazard pay or a stunt person.
Yeah, I think they want to, depending on the acting they're doing, they want to limit it to like 2 hours at a time. If they're doing really intense voiceover work.
Well, that I don't know. That I mean, I've done really intense voiceover work, and there was something that was done for my former employee, a magazine I used to work with. We did basically a production of Telltale Heart. And I spent like about 2-3 hours in a sound booth. And this is like sort of the same thing we're talking about because I spent at least 2 or 3 hours in a sound booth, like recording audio because I narrated the entire thing and I also acted in it. So there was also the physical, it was sort of like I was performance capturing myself. which was weird because I wasn't actually talking when we were filming, but I had done all the talking, and like they were playing it back so it would match up with my actions as I was doing stuff. And it was sort of like a weird, the situation was kind of really meta. So it was sort of like I was doing performance capture or like lip flap to the words that were being spoken. And it was just weird. I felt like a cartoon character. But at the end of that day, because it was 8 hours of filming, and a couple days before that, it was the 2-3 hours of recording. And you scream in that thing. You know, there's a lot of yelling. And while I was acting, there was a lot of yelling too, because I had to. You couldn't just like. There's a certain like if you're moving your mouth and like, you know, oh, that guy's just like opening his mouth in a weird way, as opposed to even if you can't hear it, physically screaming. Your body does different things. It shudders. It's like, you know, there's different emotions. Your facial like spasms and stuff like that. That's different. So even though you couldn't hear everything I was saying, it was a lot of yelling, and I sounded like Saw the next day. Like I sounded like fucking Jigsaw.
Bonesaw is ready.
No, well, kind of like Bonesaw. That was 2 days afterwards when I was starting to get it back. I sounded like a cool mix between Saw and Snake too. So I called a lot of people Colonel. So,
you didn't sound like Macho Man Randy Savage.
I did not. I did not. But
maybe
so
next time.
So I can see where they'd want to put a limit on it, but I'm just not sure if like just a 2-hour limit, because you can't really get much done in 2 hours. Like as far as shooting or recording, it would probably be a little impractical in the extending of a schedule to record on, I would think. So I don't know. What do I know? I just want to get into it. I'm not actually in it.
Damn it.
I'm just a fool. Just a fool.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at that fucking fish and he's kind of bugging me out, man.
What fish?
The Dave's avatar thingy.
Oh.
What is that again, Dave?
It's
what is that?
Seeking.
Seeking.
Yeah. It's there's a meme called Seeking Fuck Yeah that began with a picture. Someone took a picture of the Titanic hitting the iceberg and photoshopped Seeking over the iceberg.
Oh.
And now they've also photoshopped Seeking like it's an asteroid hitting the Earth. It's firing a laser beam that's destroying a planet. All sorts of just like ridiculous scenarios where Seeking is a destroyer.
Now Seeking, does he actually fire that laser?
Oh, you can teach him hyper beam. Yeah, I believe so.
Oh, nice.
I know.
And
right?
this is from the Pokemons?
Yep.
Oh.
Monsters. Pokemon are the champions. That's how it goes, right?
Yeah.
Yes, you did.
Shout out to Yokai.
Yeah. I especially love how Pikachu would come out and say, "Cast in the name of God, ye are not guilty," whenever he would do his lightning attack. Is
that a Trinity Blood reference?
That's a Big O reference, actually.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, I was really young when I watched that. So I don't
action.
It was Stephen Bloom as
Stephen Bloom. Yep.
Yep. It's basically
character.
Batman with a giant robot. That's what it seemed like to me.
Absolutely. It looked a lot like the Batman animated series as well.
So, did you order me that Batman Spartan yet?
I'm working on it. Yeah, it would seem that the crazy fucking people at Squaresoft with their Kai series of action figures, which are they're about a foot tall, aren't they?
They're large.
They're pretty big, but they're Play Arts Kai figures. They're doing a Spartan Batman, and instead of the ears, okay, you know how the top of the like Roman helmets, like that, like the broom
crest
on the top there, yeah, that crest, yeah. There's two of them going along the back, so it's essentially the bat ears, but they're fucking crests, and he has swords and shit. And looks pretty Pretty impressive.
And the bat symbols on the shield.
They're pretty inventive. I always wanted their Garrus Vicarian because that was fucking incredible, and the Adam Jensen that they had was pretty impressive too. But lately, the one I saw, other than the steampunk Batman one that they came out with, but the one that struck my fancy the most is probably Big Boss from Metal Gear Solid 5. Yeah.
They do make some good stuff.
They do. We see that stuff when we go to a toy fair.
We do. They never sell that stuff, though.
They sell them at Comic Cons, though. Like at New York Comic Con. It's amazing. The Square booth, it has all the displays set up with every single figure out there. And there's a little number. And then there's, like, the booth itself. You walk over to the dude and you say, I want this one. And you can buy anything in those cases if it's in production.
No kidding.
I was so close to getting Adam Jensen when last time TK and I went to New York Comic Con.
That's this week, isn't it? Or next week?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it's this week.
Yes, it is. I think it's next week. I've been jonesing to go, but unfortunately, also, I think everybody else has, because for the first time in ages, like, it sells out in a day. It's like almost selling out as quickly as San Diego does. And that's cool, but at the same time, it's like, shit.
How am I supposed to get into this motherfucker?
That's exactly what I said, Dave. That's exactly what I said.
It's a high-class event now. You need a tuxedo again and that shit. They're very rolling craps and everything. Drink martinis.
I have no idea
Are now.
what's happened.
New York Comic Con is now New York Casino Royale.
Hopefully with less poisoning. Although it is New York,
Hopefully
so you never
less
know.
poisoning.
The rats carry
Eva
poison from place to place. It's on
Eva
the
Green
pizza.
going to be there?
Yes, and I am going to be cosplaying as Le Chiffre. So, I plan on beating the shit out of somebody's sack while they're sitting on a chair.
Johnny walks in. He walks in with a wicker chair and a knotted rope. He's like, "All right, motherfuckers, which one of you has Skylanders?"
Oh yeah, there we go. That is a deep pull. I think I might actually start playing Skylanders. TK is playing. Started actually to play Giants because she has the PS3 at her house. So I've actually been watching her Skylanders Giants.
Oh,
And,
okay, one of their expansions.
Yeah, and I've been watching her play it, and I'm like, well, this is entertaining. And I'm looking at my trap team and all my Skylanders there, and I'm like, well, I think it's time. I think the change of the season signals the coming of the Skylanders. I'm not saying I'm going to do a video series on it, but I'm not saying that it's completely out of the realm of making one. I just don't know if I could stop myself from swearing that much because it is a children's game. But it's cool. They just came out with Superchargers. Holy shit. There's a dude named Fiesta. It's he's basically a skull from Dia de la Muerte, but he has a mariachi suit on, and his weapon is like this trumpet that fires like a sonic blast out. And he can like go past enemies and stuff. He can go into the ground, and all you see is like a skull with a sombrero like going by. And his car, when he merges with it, the rest of the band pops up as he's driving, and it's just absolutely. I almost dropped like $90 the day it came out, and I saw it, and I was like, I need this so much. And there's one Skylander called Diveclops that looks kind of like a kid's version of a Big Daddy from BioShock. I kind of want it, but I don't know how often I'd play it because I'm not a big racing person when it comes to games. But we'll see. We'll see. I know I'm going to be collecting the shit out of the Star Wars Infinity 3.0 stuff, but I'm probably never going to get the game.
I might buy a few of those. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I saw Han and Chewie
do ships.
Oh, they might do ships. I saw Han and Chewie is out, and Luke and Leia are in a 2-pack. Darth Vader's out, and the only other one that we're gonna have to wait on, because right now it's only part of the giant, like, $100 PS4 and PS3 editions, are Boba Fett. But hopefully he's gonna be sold individually pretty soon. I think that's just an early release one. But,
maybe I'm weird and like completely disturbed, but I've never really thought Boba Fett was cool.
Oh, I'm done. Just gonna be over here.
Because I love the movies, but after seeing how easily Han knocks him into the Sarlacc pit, I was utterly unimpressed with him.
Like, when I said over, I meant like not this episode, but like the series in general.
Yeah.
Welcome to the all-new, all-different official Team DBAH podcast.
We're just
Mark 3.7.
It's like German words. We just keep on having to add words in front of the word and in back of the word to make it.
The Team DBAH multiverse just exploded, and now Randall has to put it all back together.
Yeah, pretty much. That's almost as bad as I was recording Borderlands with Zach last night. Borderlands, the pre-sequel, and we were talking about games coming out, and I said, "Oh yeah, the beta for Star Wars Battlefront comes out on Thursday." And
yeah, it does.
And his words were, and this is how far he got in the sentence. He's like, "Yeah, I'm not really into Star Wars that much." And I said, "Well, okay, and now we're not talking about this anymore, and we're moving on to another subject." Okay, all right, right, yep. And like he would try to justify. I'm like, nope.
You have to like Star Wars. I don't care if you're a Trekkie. You can like them both.
You can. That's solidarity right now, right there, Dave.
Good
job.
So, Dave, you know Boba Fett lives, right?
Yeah, I hear he calls that out. But then in the extended universe, before it was retconned, he also falls back in 4 times. The same Sarlacc pit. Really? Come on, dude. You have a motherfucking jetpack. Light that shit.
See, personally, I prefer the history with Boba Fett, where he is slowly being digested, but he's hallucinating at the same time. And he has daydreams about killing all the Ewoks and going out with Leia and having 2 lightsabers, a red and blue one. Oh wait, that's Robot Chicken.
Yeah,
sorry.
That's a Robot Chicken fantasy.
Calling Han Solo a dirty little smuggler.
You know what Dave needs, though. You know he's never going to get the chance to try it.
What's that?
Wow.
You know what could help Dave?
What would help Dave?
A giant box of C-3PO's cereal.
Oh, I thought you were going to say sex.
No, that doesn't come in a box. Well, I guess it could.
Well, it could come in a... Well, technically, the whole thing is not coming in a box. Yeah. And this is where the Team DBAH podcast just... This is where everybody started listening, and a whole, like, very small niche audience started listening. C-3PO cereal, holy shit. Those were, like, bite-sized... How would you subscribe? Subscribe to it.
It's a button.
They were
below the video.
They were like two Cheerios fused together.
But they were also sweeter than 2 Cheerios. Like, they had sort of like the Captain Crunch consistency, and they were 2 Cheerios fused together.
Yep.
Huh.
They were amazing.
We had a lot of good cereal that people never...
I definitely don't remember that at all.
That's
No, it was before your time, I think.
Yep.
What year were you born in, Dave?
89.
Jesus, take the wheel. Yeah, it was before that because it...
Take it from my hands.
You know, Dave, there was Nintendo cereal.
Yeah.
Now that I did hear about. However, I don't think I'd want to try it per se.
Actually, all of these cereals were pretty much the same thing, just colored differently.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like
like Magic Smurf berries are really Captain Crunch.
It's like how all the mushrooms taste the same in Lucky Charms.
Yeah. But you said marshmallows, though, right?
Yeah.
Because you just said mushrooms.
Oh, did
I'm like, are you eating different Lucky Charms than me again?
I thought I said marshmallows, but I guess those mushrooms are getting to my brain. How is that going on anymore? What day of the week is it?
That's Wednesday. We're recording on Wednesday, but you guys are hearing this on Thursday. It's magic.
Oh, and I know what I'll be doing when this comes out Thursday.
What are you going to be doing, Dave?
I am going to be just blowing my mind playing the Battlefront beta until recording time. So that's like 3 or 4 hours to just completely indulge my inner child.
There's no reloading in that game, Dave. Remember that?
Nope. Instead, it's reheating. There's active reloads.
Oh, so it's sort of like a mix between Gears and Mass Effect?
Yeah.
Nice.
And there is third person.
Yeah, I'm going to be taking advantage of that, seeing as though you can't look down sights on a lot of things.
Well, you can in Battlefront. But it's third person. Why would you want... It's a Battlefront game.
Well, the thing is also, in Battlefront, though, I heard that you can't look down sights unless you actually have a scope on your gun.
You can... I watched several people play, because a couple people got early access to the beta. I hate you and love you at the same time. What? And there is ADS where you either look down a scope, or if you're in third person, you'll zoom in a little.
Mm-hmm.
So there's kind of like that.
Yeah.
I want to fly tie so bad.
Are you going to be playing this beta, Jake?
Maybe.
I know you're interested in the game. That's why I was curious.
Oh yeah. I guess. When's it come out again?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Oh.
Today for all you listeners.
Yeah.
Go download that right now. Play it
Thursday.
Thursday.
Do it now.
It's Thursday.
Yeah, it runs Thursday to Monday.
Well, I did say that we were going to be doing Evolve this week for the Friday Night Debauchery.
You did, but you haven't made the official announcement yet.
I haven't made the official announcement, and I'm sure that the 5 of us are going to have giant boners for the Star Wars beta. So I'm
gonna be so hard. Lightsaber can't cut through me.
How? It's not that you'd have to be hard. You would have to be a certain metal or consistency. So
you're right. That one backfired on me.
Well,
never mind.
I have a magazine we can read.
Did you see that video of someone's playing Battlefront and a Jedi, like, they're on Hoth and, like, in front of them a Jedi, like, ran up to a walker and sliced it in half and it blew up.
I saw that!
What?
That was on Reddit.
He jumped into the air and then hit it and it blew up.
Yeah, this player's... I guess it was a stormtrooper because he's only an E11. He looks in a distance and sees an ATST, and all of a sudden you see Luke... It starts backing up as Luke Skywalker sprints at it, jumps, slashes, and blows it up and keeps running.
Fucking OP Jedis.
Yeah, thing with Force users, like, you have to keep killing stuff or then it goes away.
Yeah, but if you take too much damage, your timer keeps going down, and you can actually get ganked by groups of players pretty easily. So it's when I was watching, it looked surprisingly balanced. Aside from that one player who was killing ATSTs with his lightsaber. He's the ultimate Jedi.
Except for that guy.
Except for the people who were good at the game.
Right. But, I would like to also address something, not video game related. Guys, can you bring the lights down for a minute? Thanks. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, something has happened, and Jake, I'd like to say that this was just a podcast tonight, but it's also an intervention. You see, I did Jake's takes today, and there was a DC book in your list.
There's only once, okay? It's not my fault. I've only been watching you.
He can control it.
You know what happens when one DC book is in your list. Sometimes that makes more DC books in your list.
Or one DC book loves another DC book.
Oh no! Then it's the new 52.
Then the stork brings them.
Ooh, interesting. I thought that the stork only bring babies, not baby comic books. It's like a mini comic.
The stork brings all types of babies.
It's like a mini comic that you used to get in He-Man figures. But what was going on with that, Jake? I guess it was a pretty good book.
It was technically it's Vertigo, so it's not quite DC, so it still can get away with being a DC hater, right?
You can dress it up any way you want. That's still a DC book.
The DC hater who's currently doing a video series on Batman.
Right.
Wow.
Exactly.
It's a rare occurrence, but sometimes he's really got you there.
You gotta look out for that wild.
Listen, I like.
Shit, I'm gonna make it.
Jake is the hype. All right, go on, Jake. Go on.
So I was reading through the previews on like comic book resources, and I saw it. I read the synopsis, and like I read like the first couple of pages. I was like, huh, this seems like it could scratch my Until Dawn itch, which is I have medication for it now, so it should go away pretty soon.
We'll get to that.
But no, it's about like I think if you read the pull list, I say it's about like 6 people who basically survived. It seems like they survived essentially horror movies. It's not quite like that, but that's a basic kind of thing. And like they find out they're all on this list somewhere on the internet. Like all of them, like everyone else on the list is dead except for these 6 people who are still alive. And so they're trying to like figure out why. And so it just seemed pretty interesting. And like the artist on it, he did a book with Kieran Gillen called 3, which is pretty cool. It was about like 3 Spartan slaves trying to escape the Spartan city state, which was pretty good, and it was very well drawn. So I picked that up, and like I almost cut it because I had so much to get today because I had 8 books on there. I actually bought 9 books, but one of them I didn't put on the list because it was a like point one, the like a preview thing or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like, here are all the Avengers books coming out, and I normally wouldn't have gotten it, but it had an America Chavez page in it, so I was like, well, I have to get this and read it and see what it says.
Right.
So yeah, I was just on there, and I was just like, I'll give it a shot. And it's pretty good. We'll go around.
What's the title of this book?
Survivors Club.
Survivors Club.
Plural possessive Survivors Club. And it's there's a lot of setup. I mean, it's the first issue of a new series, so that's going to happen. But it seems like it's going to pick up really quickly, and like the art's really well done, and the hook's there too. So,
Cool.
Yeah, there was a lot of stuff that came out today. Like for some reason, even though Secret Wars is still going on, some of the all different stuff came out already. So
wow.
It was a little confusing for me. So yeah, that happened. But I want to address something too. Can we shift the lights from Charlie over to me? Thanks.
Absolutely. Johnny, can you? Thank you. Go ahead.
So I thought a lot about it since the last time I was on, and I've come to the conclusion that I can understand your point, Charlie. I don't agree with it emphatically, but I understand your point because I like the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen movie.
Okay.
Your point about liking Dragon Ball Evolution, so
Right. Mm-hmm.
which is certainly not a good adaptation of the source material. But I enjoyed that movie. So I can understand, even though I disagree, I can understand what you're saying.
It's not necessarily the content or the faithfulness of the movie. It's more the enjoyment of watching it. Just like, Are you enjoying yourself while you're watching this film? Yes. Okay. Well,
check yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, at least you didn't say mystery, man.
Okay. You and me?
Well, yeah.
I think there's a dance we do called the man dance.
That sounds. Yeah.
I think I'm gonna turn the lights back on now.
I think that's the best thing for all of us, David. Good job.
Yeah.
Good job. This 3-man fucking rules. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say about that. So, Craig.
Yep.
You've been playing a game as of lately. Game involving a gentleman with some shrapnel in his head and a robotic arm.
I have.
Tell us what this game is and how are you enjoying it? What have you learned?
Still playing Metal Gear. It's pretty fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. It's wacky. You know, there's plot lines that really make no sense at all. But you know what? That's okay. That's okay. You can play as Solid Snake from Metal Gear Solid.
Oh, can you now?
Mm-hmm. And when you use that camo, you don't have your android arm.
That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. So I do try to sneak around first. And if it doesn't work after like the 3rd time, then I don't sneak anymore.
Then people die.
That's when you call a helicopter and you use your bases and mortars.
Oh wait, you can hit the places with your base's mortars?
Yeah, that's where they come from.
What?
Support.
Yeah, you can call in artillery strikes.
Jeez. Wow. While I was playing, I haven't gotten. I'm only on the first mission, but I was playing it the other night, and I don't have an interpreter.
Yeah. There's a mission.
And I don't have any Fultons. So everybody in that outpost died. With the exception of one dude. See, I was waiting for this dude to go by so I could take out the rest of them.
Mm-hmm.
And I took out the base, and I took it over, and I found where Master Miller was. I'm like, oh cool, let me look at my map. And the thing is, I had gone through the base, I capped off like, I don't know, 10, 15 guys. And I'm looking at my mini-map, and I'm like, okay, so Miller's over here, I'm right here, and then I see this little red triangle slowly moving up the road. Because I had tagged the dude while he was going on his patrol. But the dude, like, went far beyond it, so he's just walking back and forth between the camp. When he comes back, he's going to have a very rude awakening.
Oh, man. The last day on the job. I'm so happy to spend some time with my friends.
Just don't forget about the dog.
Oh, I won't forget it.
I think you find the dog actually in the interpreter mission.
Yeah, I found the dog on the way to an interpreter mission. It was just I randomly heard barking and jumped off my horse.
Yes, same thing happened to me.
Are you able to use your dog yet, Craig?
Not yet. No, he's still a puppy.
Oh.
Last time I saw him, he tried to jump in the helicopter and he couldn't make it.
Okay. I think I have an idea of where you are. Yeah.
And I do like the fact when you come back, you can punch people so their morale goes up.
Yeah, just getting closer will make their morale up, but if you punch them, they say, thanks, boss.
Wow.
And remember when you go back to your base to take a shower.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's important to take your showers.
Mm-hmm.
Or else Ocelot throws a bucket of water on you.
Does he? I'm not taking a shower for a long time now.
Well, if you don't take a shower take a shower for the long time and you have your quiet as a companion, there's an Easter egg. I'm not going to go into it, but there's an Easter egg. A very misogynistic, horrible, very Metal Gear Solid serious Easter egg. So, but anyway, so you're enjoying it though.
Yes.
You are glad you got your giant hand edition.
I am. So this way I can see the scene that they cut out. That apparently, if you don't have it, there's a part of the story that makes no sense because they took the whole thing out.
Wow, that's horrible. But at least we have the means to watch this.
That's true. But soon, Konami will make a Big Boss Pachinko game.
Yeah, that's
It's kind of strange to me.
Or whatever.
Well, this is just like the opening salvo. You think of the oncoming war, right?
Probably.
Yeah. We're thinking that this could possibly be like the beginning of a very large battle between like Konami and Hideo Kojima, and I don't think it's going to be very pretty.
They could have made so much money if they let him okay, so he did this Metal Gear, and then they take each of their big franchises, like what they did with Castlevania, and let him redo one.
That'd be pretty damn cool.
That would have been cool.
I would like to. I would like to play that. Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But speaking of playing and making horrible things, David, what have you been playing lately?
I've been playing 3 games. I've also been playing Metal Gear Solid 5.
Mm-hmm.
Came across an interesting Easter egg that I won't spoil it because I don't know if it counts as spoilers, but you'll know it when you get there. Then I've also been playing, of course, Destiny because I want to beat the raid.
Okay.
And surprisingly, I picked up Fire Emblem again. I've been playing through that. I actually had an unfortunate incident happen where I had to restart my entire playthrough.
What happened?
There's a mission where you recruit a character by doing this objective for them. However, if you accidentally kill the boss at that level before they've done their thing, you don't recruit the character. And not paying attention to what I was doing, I then overwrote my save file.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and then after I did, I realized, wait a minute. Oh, fuck. There goes 8 hours.
That's never a good thing.
No, it wasn't.
Oh, man.
So I'm catching back up in that, and I've come up with a schedule. I play 2 days of Destiny, 2 days of Metal Gear Solid 5. Friday is kind of whatever I feel like. And then the rest of the time, I'm trying to build up my writing ability again for NaNoWriMo.
Oh, nice. I hear you also made some horrible levels for Jamie in Mario Maker.
Yes. If Jamie ever goes to hell, they're probably going to hire me to torture him.
Wow.
Because after watching the Game Grumps play some of Ross's levels, I decided to see how difficult a level I could make. And Jamie voluntarily took up the challenge to beat said levels. First level
child.
apparently wasn't that bad. The second level, I asked him how hard it was because I thought he beat it quickly. He said it almost made him cry.
Wow.
And I don't know what the third level's done to him yet. I haven't asked.
You know, when they say whenever a little British boy cries, a devil gets his horns.
I have 12 million horns, man.
Wow. That's a lot of horns he's got on
it is.
under his belt.
Man, you should see the ones over my belt.
Hey.
He's trying. So I'm just going to give him that because he's trying. Jake, we're going to get back to D.B.A.H in a little bit. But Jake, what are you playing anything other than Until Dawn, guy?
Oh, I mean, I haven't played that game in a long time. I just, it's on my mind because I edit the video after yours comes out every week. So, it's all complete and stuff.
Okay. All right.
But I recently took up playing XCom again, Within, just because I was my Xbox is downstairs and I was working down there and I was like, I'm gonna take a break, but I don't feel like going back upstairs because I'm a lazy fuck.
Lazy.
So I lazy fuck. So I booted up XCom and I was playing through that and it's still fun, still a good game. Excited for the second one. Yeah,
it's good. It's good. Did you get the expansion?
The Ending Within.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the one I have. What was I gonna say? There was I didn't pull the trigger and because I already beat it once. I didn't pull the trigger and go for the hardest mode or whatever because I was I don't remember how to play this game. It was very obvious because the people died in the very first mission. So I was oops.
Yeah, that was one game where you get really attached to the people you have. And I got really upset. I was on the last mission, and this medic I had from the 5th mission of the game, he didn't make it.
I had a guy who I had gotten gene mods on, so he was very special. He was an assault. His name was Dice because he was a gambler. He would run up people and shoot them, not caring for his own safety. He was on that mission where they attacked the base or whatever. They attacked the bottom of the base, and he got shot, but he got downed. And so he was in critical condition, so I had to stabilize him. Didn't have any med packs left.
Oh.
And I was okay, I got to beat the mission in 3 turns, and then 2 more aliens showed up. I was well, fuck, Dice is dead. So he's the highest ranked person on the memorial wall, and I had to use the other assaults, and I'm just oh yeah, they don't have any gene mod. This sucks. Yeah, you get to a point where it's everyone's a colonel, and it's you're just blowing through people. It's super easy. You get a sniper with squats. You're should I be using some lower ranked people to build them up? And they're nah, it sounds like too much work.
These guys will never die. Oh dear.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the second one should be good. I know they delayed it till February, but I'm okay with that if it means.
Yeah, I'm okay with games getting delayed.
Yeah, so it's supposed to be like if Enemy Within never happened.
Oh wow.
And you,
Oh yeah, it's one we lost.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. Other games I'm looking forward to playing. 2K16 comes out. I think at the end of the month.
That's right.
Oh shit! Really?
Yeah.
Oh
So-
man.
Wait, what comes
You
out?
get some
WWE
2K16.
2K15.
Now does this one have online custom character play?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
We're gonna find out.
I don't know.
Let's see who can create the strangest character of all.
Yeah, I need to think of some new designs for the Team DBAH because I think probably only Dave and Trevor are going to stay the same, just because I like the Titan. If I can do the Titan thing, I'm going to do that. And I really enjoy Dave with a quilted cape and a paper bag over his head and being this giant dude in like a unitard or whatever.
Pajama King.
It was amazing. It was amazing. I gotta find out when that's coming out because I'm on the fence about it because there's so many other games coming out that, and a couple of them I need to record with. So it's like, maybe I'll be able to pick up that one because I can't wait to see like your like everything that you had told us about, like when you did the write up of the column with the first year roundup.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see that now. And I'm I'm very psyched to actually see it. So,
well, like the thing about that is like because I think when I did the first year, I played as like all the created Team DBAH. So like I could make a good match, and if I couldn't, I would like just edit it in the story. Around second year, I was like, okay, I'm just let the computers decide because I was getting too good at the game, and I was always winning, and there was no drama or whatever.
Right.
And there was one match that Trevor had with, I think, The Undertaker, and it was supposed to be a submission match. Trevor got tombstone like 12 times before Undertaker submission.
Sounds about right.
Because you can't knock someone out because it's not a thing. So I was like, boy, I can't wait to write this up. But I have like Team DBAH year in review #2 or whatever. It's way too long. I'm not even close to being done with it. I'm sure I have the notes somewhere around here, but yeah, it's like I figured it's not. We might as well just wait for 16. So hopefully that works out. But I need to get with people.
Are you gonna? You're gonna get since you're pre-ordering, you're gonna get the Terminator, aren't you?
Yeah, both Terminators.
Oh,
yeah, because
that's right.
The one from the first game, and then the T2 Terminator, or whatever it was. It's T800, but like the Terminator 2 one. The good guy and the bad guy, the face and the heel.
I'm so tempted to pick up WWE 2K15 because it's only like $15 on Xbox Live right now.
Yeah, I saw that.
So tempted. So fucking tempted.
Charlie, it comes out October 27th.
27th. 4 short days after Assassin's Creed comes out. Well, I'm picking up a game on Tuesday also, so it's like, oh fuck, October and
Which
November. Game? Well, I'll say it after Jake's finished. I didn't want to interrupt him.
I need to talk with people about like their stuff because like looking back, like I think Luke and probably Jamie and Craig suffered from like I don't really have a direction to go with these guys because like I based them all off of like their characters that Dave made in the Team DBAH comic, and like Luke's thing is just weapons. So like
you can't really bring that into the ring.
Can't really bring that the entire time. Can't have that at all times. But like I made his like finishing move. Like he essentially takes brass knuckles out of his trunks and punches a guy. Somehow it's not cheating. I don't know. It never called me on it.
Oh yeah, Triple H can use a sledgehammer. He can use brass knuckles.
I have a sledgehammer. I mean, like he would get disqualified. So, but yeah. So need to work on that because yeah, it was funny because I also made Heather, but like the women's wrestling in 13 or 14 is so bad that like I just made her like a 100 and just let her beat everyone. Like it's like because like everyone's like all the women wrestlers are like I think the best one's maybe like an 88 and that's like Lita or whatever. So I was like, I don't really care. I'm gonna have Heather at 100 and have her just kick ass.
Sweet.
Yeah.
I've been playing the usual. I've been playing Witcher and Until Dawn and Metal Gear Solid 5. But and like I'm going to be picking up on Tuesday, I'm sorry. Tuesday, Dragon Quest Heroes, the World Trees Woes and the Dark Below something. It has a really long subtitle to it. There's a new Dragon Quest Heroes, and it's all like very, very Akira Toriyama-esque. And I think he did the character design for all of the Dragon Quest games, and it looks absolutely stunning. I think it's a PS4 exclusive, and it looks like Dynasty Warriors with a plot, with a kind of RPG plot, because there's parts where you're just basically fighting like one giant big monster at a time, and then there's parts where you're fighting armies at the same time. So it's like, it's not turn-based, it's an action RPG, and I can't wait. There's, I think, 8 playable characters, and it's called The World Trees Woes and the Blight Below. That's what it's called. And it looks amazing. It looks fucking magical, and I can't wait to play it. But I've also been playing a lot of Destiny.
Oh yeah?
And yeah, and I had never played a hunter before. I'm trying to get my hunter up to level 40 because I now have my warlock and my titan up to level 40. I was just trying to get my hunter up, and the hunter was basically I created a character 5 minutes before Taking King dropped, and I used a little artifact to boost my level 5 character to level 25. Yeah, that's cool. I didn't actually play it organically. Well, I started playing this hunter, and I found Blade Dancer. And I think when I play Taken King on the PS4, I'm starting a new character as a hunter just so I can max out Blade Dancer first, because it is so awesome.
Charlie understands now.
It is just, I run up with knife and I stab you, and you're not there anymore. And I'm okay with it. And it's just a really cool ability. Like, because I started out with the Sunshot, and the Sunshot was pretty cool. And then, you unlock your bow and arrow power there, and I'm like, oh good, I can shoot an arrow. And it just stops other people in place, but I still have to shoot all of them. Oh, great. And then I said, oh, I need to do something with arc abilities for a bounty, so I threw on Blade Dancer, and I did one other bounty so I would have a little XP to like level it up a little. And then I did that sword thing, the sha. And yeah, I think I like Hunter the best right now. I mean, true, it's not the Emperor Palpatine power that the Warlocks have, which is the best ability, hands down, in Destiny. I don't care what the fuck anybody says. I can float and shoot lightning at people, and it chains off them, and you feel like a fucking boss when you do it.
I laughed maniacally the first time I did that.
Oh, yeah. It's amazing. Some people might say the hammer is cool. The hammer is cool. You can be Thor. But I prefer the lightning. You just zzz everybody, and they just like bleh. And it's just amazing. But Dave and I, actually Max, our friend Max, pointed us to an article on Polygon that was very interesting that I showed Dave, and Dave was rather taken by it. It was a little
Taken King.
Or should we say
first?
Taken Queen?
Spoilers.
No, not really, because this is lore. This is deep lore.
Yeah. This is like, holy shit, I spent 10 hours lore.
Yes. This is holy shit. Nobody's going to read this because Bungie just put all the lore in the fucking grimoires that nobody was going to go look at on Bungie.net, as opposed to putting it in the game, like in Mass Effect with the Codex entries.
Not to mention you have to find those first. I know I probably never will.
Seriously. But what did we find out, Dave?
So, long ago, gather around for story time with Dave. long ago, there was this cephalopod race which lived for about 10 years. And their king was approaching his 10th year, and he had gone kind of senile. Kept talking to himself all the time, talking to his dead white worm that he kept as a pet. And he had 3 daughters who were about 2 years old. One's name was Orast, and she was an explorer. She was like going off exploring crap. The other one's name was Nero, and she was a knight. She fought to protect her kingdom's lands. And the third one, whose name I don't remember, I'm just going to name her Psycho
Lydia.
number 3.
Lydia. Lydia.
I'm going to Psycho number 3. And then after I talk about Psycho number 3, I'm going to forget about her. Because just like Max Landis, there is no reason to mention this motherfucking character.
Okay.
She's like Steel. Pretty much from Death Through Jersey Man.
She's the next big thing.
She's the next big thing. Yeah, exactly.
She's the next big thing that didn't even know she was supposed to be the next big thing and just stayed home.
Wow.
So we should tell her.
Well, the king's going to see now, and it doesn't look like any of the 3 daughters are going to be really good at ruling. So one of the king's advisors, I don't remember her name, so I'm just going to call her Elijah Wood. Okay. Elijah Wood decides, all right, you know what? I'm going to take over the kingdom then. Convinces the other counselors to support her, and Elijah Wood kills the king and then drives the 3 daughters out.
Okay.
Now the 3 daughters are kind of pissed off about this. They want revenge to kill her and get their lives back. And they come across this ship they call the Needle. Now the cephalopod race, they were still bound to their planet at the time. When Orast went exploring, she did so in like an actual ship on water, like with sails and whatnot. And they come across this ship called the Needle, which is actually a spaceship. And Nero initially says, hey, let's sell this. I bet you we can get a bunch of money, buy some mercenaries, and go kick some butt. And Orast and Psycho number 3 say, no, let's go on the ship, open it up, and take command of it. And so they do that. They fly up onto the ship. They get in the ship, and they fly it up into space. And they spend the next 3 years of their lives up in space on the Needle. Now they're about halfway through their life because they only live for about 10 years. And Psycho number 3 was here at first, and for some reason they had brought their father's dead white worm pet with them. And it turns out this thing was not actually dead because somehow it's talking to them now and giving them instructions. And it tells/commands them to drive the Needle into the center of the planet. And so, of course, being crazy-ass motherfuckers, they do that. And end up in the middle of the planet. And in the middle of the planet, it's not like Journey to the Center of Earth. It's this giant cavern. And there's this Leviathan, which is, according to the Grimoire cards, as I understand it, a being of light. And then there's the great white worm and dozens of 100,000s of other white worms there. Now, the worm tells them, all right, here's the deal. Devour some of, I'll give you some of my kids to eat, like ingest them. And if you do that, they will give you their strength. However, your worms will always be hungry, and so you must never stop doing what you do, or else they will devour you. So Orast has to keep exploring, Nero has to keep conquering, and Psycho number 3 has to keep doing whatever Psycho number 3 does. No one really knows. And Leviathan makes a counteroffer, which isn't really much of an offer, it's more of a request. Let me help you. I can send you back to your service, and you can live out your lives naturally. Now, because this is Destiny and the darkness is apparently powerful as a motherfucker, I'll let you guess which choice I chose. They went with the worm's choice. So they ate some of the worm's kids, and they became the first of the hive. And they were changed, and Orast's name became Auryx. Auryx. And the 3 of them went topside, started killing stuff off, and realized that no matter how much they killed, they couldn't keep their worms quite fed well enough. And so they came up with this idea, okay, we're going to build an army. This is how it's going to work. Thralls, you're the bottom tier. You are Popo's stool. Now, whenever you guys kill or something, you devour its essence. You take its essence, take some of it to maintain.
Boy, without knowledge of that reference, that comes off as real.
Go watch Dragon Ball Z Bridge, by the way.
Yes.
Wow. They tell the Thralls, you're lowest on the food chain. Devour things, claw at it, and when you get its essence, take some for yourself to maintain yourself, and then a bit to grow. and then pass the rest up to the acolyte that commands you. Now, acolytes who are in charge of your thralls. You take your stuff, take some of theirs, take as much you need, blah, blah, and then tie the rest up again. And that goes up to the knights and the wizards. And knights and wizards do the same thing. You take stuff, take the type you've been given, take as much as you need, and then as much as you dare to grow, and then pass the rest up to the ascendant. And the ascendant do the same thing, and then that goes up to Oryx and her 2 sisters, who are now brothers. They never explained how they changed genders. They're just like, boom, you're guys now. Whatever.
You eat the worm, you grow a peen.
Pretty much, the worm becomes the peen, I guess.
And
so they build this army, and that becomes a hive. And they just consume their entire planet. This Elijah Wood's completely fucked. Everything on that planet is now completely hive. But it's not enough for Oryx. I'm trying to be specific on my pronunciation here. Who decides, this worm just still ain't, doing what I want it to. So Oryx decides, all right, I'm going to go explore, and I'm going to kill some other efforts. And it kills the great white worms, 2, I guess you'd call them god advisors or whatever, kicks their butts, and then it goes to the worm itself, which had, this part's kind of complicated, so I'm just going to simplify it as best as I can. The worm had been waiting, but without saying, because if it had acted, it would have destroyed its opportunity, I guess. And Oryx says, hey, I know why this worm's giving me trouble. Because this is all about taking, and you gave the worm to me. So, you might be my god, and you cool and all, but, yeah, I'm going to kill you. And so, Oryx kills worm, hacks it up, takes its essence, goes off, writes some, brilliant knowledge she had on a tablet after she woke up from her hangover, and declared himself Oryx, the Taken King. Because now he has the power to take life and make it his. And that's where the hive comes from.
That's what we learned about Destiny this week.
And so that giant white yellow knight with his 12 eyes and all the horn ridges you see with Oryx in that one cutscene, I believe is what used to be Nero. Okay. And then, like I say, Cycle number 3, who knows where the fuck that one is.
Right.
And then Oryx himself had 2 sons. You've killed one, and there's another one out there. So there's 4 more, and then, of course, you kill Oryx. So there's at least 3 other members of the Hive royalty godhood, I guess you could say, out there. And 2 of them are on the level of Oryx, and one of them is on Crota's level.
Looks like next year we're going to be dumping another $40 into Destiny to find out who it is.
Personally, I hope we fight the Cabal already. Let's go after the Cabal Command Empire.
That would be pretty cool.
That would be amazing. Hey guys, we're going to the solar system. Go fuck shit.
Yeah, fuck shit, man.
But not literally. I mean, that's how you get...
Yeah. Yes, that was a very, very astute observation of what happened.
And
the more you know.
There's one other thing involved with all the lore that came with Taken King called sword logic, but I haven't looked it up. I don't know what it's about, so stay tuned.
Nice, yeah, I look forward to it. I'm guessing it's why they use.
I'm guessing it's why they use swords, right?
Yeah, it's okay. It's pointy. It has a blade. There's a hilt. I think it's a sword. Sword logic.
One end is pointy, but it's not pointy like a spear.
Right. It's pointed like a...
If you swing it instead of stab with it, it is a sword.
It's like a large knife.
That explanation of the hook blade in Assassin's Creed, Revelations. It is a hook and also a blade. Okay. All right, guy. Real cute.
That hook blade gets you every time. I'm sure you'll be hooked.
Like the movie.
Oh, okay. Now I get it.
Just like the movie. Hey, that new movie Pan is coming out, which is not like Hook, but kind of.
It's kind of, but not.
Kind of, but not. Well. Anybody else got some pressing issues they want to talk about?
Real quick, if you want to get a sampling of what Marvel Comics are going to be coming out in the all new, all different, kind of the same thing. 2 comics came out today that kind of gives you that. One's called Avengers, number 0 or Avengers .1, and it gives you basically a little snippet of what each of the new Avengers books is about. So New Avengers, Uncanny Avengers, I think A-Force, Ultimates, which I'm looking forward to, and then like the regular Avengers title, and the other one is I think it's just called like Marvel, all different Marvel .1, and it runs down like a bunch of different series, like Contest of Champions, which I read today, which is pretty good, and like Carnage, I think is getting his own series, and some other ones too. So if you
what the hell are they going to do with the Carnage series?
Dude, they've been trying for like the past couple years. There's always like one that comes out in rotation every now and then, like a mini series. People buy it, man. Teenagers love Carnage.
Is that what the teens like nowadays?
Apparently,
Oh.
they're really into it. I guess I don't know.
And the Venoms?
Yeah. So Venom is usually pretty good.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
lethal protector that he is?
I was gonna go with the Flash Thompson, that Agent Venom thing, but yeah.
Yeah. How does that work exactly?
Well, it's supposed to work that like he would put it on for like a mission, and then he had a time limit before it would bond with him, and he would have to get the mission through or whatever. That was like when it started off like it was Rick Remender, and that pretty much went out the window in like the third issue. Like it was like you open the book and it's like I'm already over the limit for this mission. It's like all right, well that was we're fucked now. Like there was no like build up or countdown timer. But actually, in paid because Venom became a Guardian of the Galaxy when he was also an Avenger too. So that like
What?
yeah, Agent Venom, Flash Thompson or whatever. They're working for good
Oh,
guys.
Flash is him. Okay, that makes
Yeah,
more sense.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, Agent Venom, who's Flash Thompson.
Is there a Guardian of the Galaxy now?
He is. I think he still is. Yeah.
Which galaxy?
All of them.
Holy shit!
They went to the planet of the symbiotes, and they Bendis did his thing where he did a little bit of finagling, and he's like, "Oh, symbiotes aren't actually like bloodthirsty monsters or whatever. Actually, they're supposed to be like this. Like I don't really remember. I didn't read the issue, but I remember I heard someone memorize it. And essentially, the Venom symbiote's been like purified, and it's fine now. So it's all good guy all the time. I think. I don't know. But yeah.
Well, isn't that what
My God.
Anti-Venom was with Flash Thompson?
Anti-Venom was like he was still an anti-hero because he was very much about like all symbiotes are bad and like everything must be purified. He was basically still Venom, but like instead of being like flirting the line between like good and bad, he was flirting the line between gray and good, essentially. So
Like 50 Shades of Grey?
nah, just like one.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that simplifies things.
Yeah, so
Interesting.
if you want to get a little snippet, those two came out today, and I think I don't remember how much they were, but yeah, they aren't free, so get your money about that.
Freedom isn't free, Jake.
It takes folks like you and me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And on that note, kids, I think we're going to say goodnight for this week. I want to thank Craig for coming out.
No, thank you for always
Oh.
being you.
I try my damnedest. Sometimes I fail, but sometimes I'm good at it. I want to thank Jake for coming out and dropping some wrestling knowledge and some comic knowledge on us. Thank you, Jake.
I'm the token guy, so yeah. Thanks.
Wow.
Thank you for having me. Yeah,
Just
I'm
because
the
you're
wrestling and
Hawaiian?
comics guy.
Just because you're Hawaiian? No. Rise above the hate, man. All right. And Dave, thank you for the actually very articulate explanation on Oryx's gender.
Wow. I may have just blown my own mind out trying to look at something. Yeah, thanks.
Whoa. Okay. Well, we're not going to go into that, but we are going to go into teamdba.com. What's that, you say? What's on teamdba.com? Well, I'll tell you. You can go right over there and check out this podcast as well as all the other ones because they're available right there on the site. You can press a button. You can listen to it right there on the site. You can listen to our SoundCloud version right there on the site. You can download them from iTunes or Stitcher. Or Player FM. There's so many ways to digest the content and put it in your mouth and drink it all in, or your ear, or your mouth, whatever. And there's the pull list that comes out every Wednesday that Jake over here does. You want to hear all the other comics that came out this week that you should get? Swing by teamdba.com. Check out the pull list. Also, there's a new column that just started from Jamie. Jamie's reviewing all the loot crates now. how cool is that? So every month we're going to have a review from Jamie on the content and like a little score as to what he thinks of the Loot Crate every month. So you got that to look forward to. And of course, every day, 6 days a week, you get a brand new video at Team DBAH, at youtube.com/Team DBAH with so many different series where Jake does Batman and Until Dawn, and Dave and I do Dark Souls 2, and Craig does the Versus videos. I'm doing videos on The Witcher and Until Dawn as well, and I'm doing a Borderlands pre-sequel with Zach. So there's so much stuff that you could swing by there and watch and say, holy shit, these guys are awesome. And if you're feeling generous, of course, don't forget to swing by cafepress.com/Team DBAH to check out our merch. Well, thank you very much, folks. Thanks for your continued love and downloads. Thanks for dropping by and lending us your ear. Remember, if you like what you hear, leave an iTunes review. Give us a rating. It really helps. And please, we implore you. And yeah, if you feel a little shy about that, hit us up at Team DBAH on Twitter. Well, I have been Charlie Danes82. This has been the official Team DBAH podcast number 111. And until next week, folks, please remember, don't be a hero. Good night.